Trap media. Like, share, subscribe, show some love. Fight day. It's almost 12 o'clock. The day before the fight. The weigh in has happened. We got the link in the bio if you want to comment on this. Go ahead and hop in. It's an upset getting ready to happen. Y'all know if you've been following me, I rock with Spence, so it's no hating going on. It's no bias. It's nothing like that. I just don't think you can come back from an accident like that and be the same. And even before the accident, if you pay attention to all Errol Spence fights, he stops doing his work. So he'll be in the middle of working and he'll be throwing and then he'll stop and let you get off. Go back to that Peterson fight. Remember he got hyped when Peterson hit him with some big shots. You can go to it's multiple points in the Mikey fight. Um Bandu. I mean, just when you go to all Earl Spence fights, there's some point where he freezes in the pocket. Like he doesn't wait and get outside, and some reason he freezes in the pocket. And see, people. I was saying this before the accident, and people are gonna point when it happens. People are gonna point and be like, "Man, the accident just messed up his reaction time." When if you go back to historically, it's not the accident. Now the accident might what we got to see is if the accident adds to the slowing reaction time, which can be even more dangerous. That's why I say, like, what type of team do you have to put you in a fight like this coming back? Like, I would be even talking to you about, like, man, maybe it's not just worth jumping back in there, but even if you gonna jump back in there, you jump back in there against somebody like Paulie, that they got soft hands. Not saying the party's still fighting, but somebody that you're not worried about putting a big shot on you. See if you can take these small shots first, because we know historically you pause in between your work at some point in the fight. So you gonna get caught. It's just I think he going to sleep. Like I think it's gonna be bad. It's gonna be a bad knockout, a big knockout. And you got a confident Danny Garcia. I don't think Danny went into the Sean fight confident because he knows Sean work great. I don't think he went into the Keith Thurman fight confident because he knows Thurman footwork and all of that. But I think he's when you, this before the accident, he was watching that Sean fight, and you could see shots that Sean is catching Spence clear on the chin, and in his mind, it's like, man, if I catch him with that, that's it. It's lights out. You're not standing up. Like he caught Sean a few times, but it wasn't all. I don't know. He caught Sean so good. Sean could just take a punch. He took bombs against Keith Thurman that would have put most guys out, and he took bombs against Danny. He took a couple big shots against Danny Garcia that most people would have been. I think when I was watching it, I was a bit nervous. Like, oh man, I thought I didn't know how he would hold up. I knew he held up against Thurman, but I didn't know how he would hold up against Danny. And Spence, we seen it with the African guy who caught him early in his career. But I think with the body going through as much trauma as it went through. Now, this what I will say, maybe before the accident, there was more punch resistance. But does the accident affect your punch resistance? So that's something like, does that trauma of the brain bouncing off that concrete in the body, is that going to affect? Because it's not, for me, it's not a matter of if he gets caught. He's going to get caught because he doesn't fight a fight. Even when he was boxing Mikey, he still got that. That was the fight that really validated it for me, because I was like, oh yeah, I forgot Mikey caught him with a shot like that. I forgot what round it was, but Mikey caught him a shot, and I'm like, dang, I forgot Mikey caught him with a shot like that. I want to say it was the second round. It might have been second round because I think that was the round. I know on the cards they gave Spence every round, but I gave Mikey the second round. But yeah, Danny doesn't respect Spence. He's coming in this fight with no respect. Angel was saying He's gonna have him jump on him. I don't think he's gonna hold back. The only thing I would change the Danny game that I think would take him further is, you know how a lot of them guys like Broner, they famous for just letting their hands go on the pads. I would just have him working that jab extra, extra, extra. You try to jump out in that first round and see where he at. Test him, test his chin, let your hands go. You can take off that second round if you got a hold or whatever. Make sure your stamina up. Coming into this fight, I would have had Danny doing a whole bunch of carving on. Make sure your stamina up. You're gonna jump all over him in that first round and see where he at. If he was comfortable, then you could sit back, work the jab, work the jab, work the jab, put him to sleep. Don't really even go for the big shot yet. Just keep working that jab, work the body, work the jab, pull the jab, because he has a longer reach than you. So you play with his reach, keep your jab out there on his jab, and just put him to sleep. And later in that fight, when everybody, you know how Sean Porter shocked everybody when he came out boxing, put him to sleep, and then later on, after they just so used to you fighting this one way, this different style, then you come and start dropping that big bomb again, and it'll probably be an opening because he gonna go to sleep. And like I said, Spence at some point is gonna leave himself open. But for Danny, it's not even about the counter, man. Just go push the pace. If it, anything I would have been working on through camp is pushing the pace, but I'm really not worried for it. The odds makers, I think it was like plus three something for Danny. So if you bet 100, you win 300. For me, it's an easy fight. I think Danny wins this fight easy. It's an upset alert. Spence is the better boxer. Spence has everything that you would look for. Spence has it, but his issue is Danny's power. If Danny didn't have the power, he would be in trouble. But at some point, Spence is gonna get caught in that pocket, and even if he don't finish him, he could put him down multiple times in the fight. And coming off an accident like this, I think your team is just gonna be a bit more prone to throwing that towel because it's about the long term game. I just don't think they're gonna go out there and let Danny keep dropping him multiple times. Even as a champ, I doubt they let him go out on his sword. If he gets put down once or twice or he gets caught, I just think they're gonna be open to throwing it in because you're just coming off a major accident like that. So remember that. That's something that people not talking about. Had the accident not happen, you get dropped a few times, then people giving you your team gonna give you a bit more leeway. But with that accident, nobody's putting your life at risk. It's already dangerous going out there. If they see something like that, it's too much liability. Remember the last big fights at home, J Rock fought at home against Rosado, got whooped, and Herb fought at home in DC and got whooped. It's a lot of pressure that comes with that, but I just think styles make fights. You can't do the triangle theory. Sean Porter had to steal a chin of granite, and man, Sean just pulled off something great because Danny can punch. That's all I can say. It just styles make fights, and I think with everything that just been going on with the layoff, with not being in the ring and not really getting punched like that, I doubt you getting a big shot in sparring. I just don't think the punch resistance is gonna be there when Danny does catch him, and he will catch him. Trap media, if you in the chat, you want to hop in, you can hop in or give a couple seconds. If not, thanks for showing love. I'm out.